Jacob also went on his way, and the angels of God met him. When Jacob saw them, he said, "This is the camp of God." I guess he just saw them standing there. I don't know. So he named that place Mahanaim, which means two camps. I guess his camp and God's camp, apparently. Jacob sent messengers ahead of him to his brother Esau in the land of Seir, the country of Edom. So he knows where Esau is. He instructed them. It was 20 years since he's seen this man. This is what now. Again, apparently, he never got word that Esau's anger had cooled down. He went to Laban's household to await word from his mother about Esau's temper subsiding, and I guess he never got it. I guess he never got that word. So as far as he knows, Esau still wants to kill. Isaac is still alive. I think Esau was thinking that he would wait till Isaac died. And apparently Isaac was close to death. Now Isaac, of course, would end up living. He's still alive even now. Yeah, at this point in time. So apparently Isaac thought he was close to death. So apparently Isaac was in pretty bad shape when he decided to give out the blessing. Maybe he was sick. Maybe he was battling an illness that looked like he wouldn't recover from. I'm not really sure. But he thought he was about to die, and it seems like Esau thought he was close to dying. They may have all thought he was close to dying. He didn't, however, die. Esau seems to have been waiting for Isaac to die before he went after Jacob. But that's taken longer than Esau apparently was expecting it to. And during that time, his anger cooled, which we'll find out later because he wants to reconcile with Jacob. But apparently, no one ever sent word to Jacob that Esau's anger had cooled, because Jacob, as far as he knows, has still been marked for death by Esau. So he sent messengers ahead of him and instructed them, "This is what you are to say to my master Esau. Your servant Jacob says, I have been staying with Laban and have remained there till now. I have cattle and donkeys, sheep and goats, men servants and maidservants. Now I am sending this message to my Lord that I may find favor in your eyes." They had a lot of expressions that dealt with the eyes. Do what is right in your eyes, or do what is good in your eyes. May I find favor in your eyes. That was a very common part of their usual daily way of talking. When the messengers returned to Jacob, they said, "We went to your brother Esau, and now he is coming to meet you, and 400 men are with him." Uh-oh. I think we made a bad situation worse. In great fear and distress, Jacob divided the people who were with him into two groups, or camps, and the flocks and herds and camels as well. He thought, if Esau comes and attacks one group, the other group that is left may escape or camp. Then Jacob prayed, "O God of my father Abraham, God of my father Isaac, O Lord, who said to me, 'Go back to your country and your relatives, and I will make you prosper.'" So he's reminding God, you said to go back. You said to come here. Okay, you got to take care of me now because you said you would. "I am unworthy of all the kindness and faithfulness you have shown your servant. I had only my staff when I crossed it. I had only my staff when I crossed this Jordan, but now I have become two groups. Save me, I pray, from the hand of my brother Esau, for I am afraid he will come and attack me, and also the mothers with their children." And again, the children are children. These are not young men. They're not of fighting age. They could not fight back. This is right after he left Laban. He left Laban at the end of 20 years. He got his wives at the end of the first 7 years. So the oldest of his children would be at most 13. And the rest, of course, will all be younger than that. So he does not have an army of fit fighting men traveling around with him. "For I am afraid he will come and attack me, and also the mothers with their children. But you have said, I will surely make you prosper, and will make your descendants like the sand of the sea, which cannot be counted." He spent the night there, and from what he had with him he selected a gift for his brother Esau: 200 female goats and 20 male goats, 200 ewes and 20 rams, 30 female camels with their young, 40 cows and 10 bulls, and 20 female donkeys and 10 male donkeys. You need more females than males because they're the limiting factor in reproduction. He put them in the care of his servants, each herd by itself, and said to his servants, "Go ahead of me, and keep some space between the herds." So he's going to send these gifts out to Esau in waves. He instructed the one in the lead, "When my brother Esau meets you and asks, 'To whom do you belong, and where are you going, and who owns all these animals in front of you?' then you are to say, 'They belong to your servant Jacob. They are a gift sent to my lord Esau, and he is coming behind us.'" He also instructed the second, the third, and all the others who followed the herds, "You are to say the same thing to Esau when you meet him. And be sure to say, 'Your servant Jacob is coming behind us.' For he thought, 'I'll pacify him with these gifts I am sending on ahead. Later, when I see him, perhaps he will receive me.' So Jacob's gifts went on ahead of him, but he himself spent the night in the camp." So he is not taking the situation lightly. Esau is coming with 400 guys, 400 dudes. As far as Jacob knows, he's coming to grind Jacob into dust and scatter his ashes to the wind, as well as everything that belongs to him, his wives, his children. As far as Jacob knows, Esau is determined to make his camp a smoldering pile of rubble. So he's trying his best to keep this from happening in any way he can. That night, Jacob got up and took his 2 wives, his 2 maidservants, and his 11 sons, and I presume his 1 daughter as well, and crossed the ford of the Jabbok. After he had sent them across the stream, he sent over all his possessions. So Jacob was left alone, and a man wrestled with him till daybreak. So Jacob is the last one in the line, by the way. Now, when Esau finally gets there, Jacob is going to be the first in the line. But as of now, Jacob is last in line. I do not know why this man came to wrestle with Jacob. I do not know how Jacob and this man started wrestling. This section has always been mysterious to me, and to I think just about anybody who's ever read it. Why did this man appear? Why did they start wrestling? What was the what was the cause? No idea. When the man saw that he could not overpower him, he touched the socket of Jacob's hip, so that his hip was wrenched as he wrestled with the man. Then the man said, "Let me go, for it is daybreak." But Jacob replied, "I will not let you go unless you bless me." The man asked him, "What is your name?" "Jacob," he answered. Then the man said, "Your name will no longer be Jacob, but Israel." Israel means he struggles with God, because you have struggled with God and with men and have overcome. Jacob said, "Please tell me your name." But he replied, "Why do you ask my name?" Then he blessed him with it. So he's not giving Jacob his name. That is a mark of superiority. He got Jacob's name, but he's not giving Jacob his name. And he could have ended that fight at any moment. All he had to do is touch his hip socket and knock his hip out of place. He could have overpowered Jacob whenever he felt like it, but he didn't. I'm not sure what this is going on here. I'll have to admit, this is a mysterious passage. So God called the place Peniel. Peniel means face of God, saying, "It is because I saw God face to face, and yet my life was spared." So he thought this man was God. Not just an angel of God. He thought this man was God. The sun rose above him as he passed Peniel, and he was limping because of his hip. Therefore, to this day, the Israelites do not eat the tendon attached to the socket of the hip, because the socket of Jacob's hip was touched near the tendon.